Alright, let's make some observations. See right there, I felt like Sonic Fox closed in. He's like a sniper, right? He has a target. He knows exactly what he's looking for, and he has a direction. But, and on the defensive side of that, Lord Knight was definitely on defense looking for something. But I don't know if he knew what exactly he was looking for. If he had anything in his scope, to use that analogy. Maybe he was looking for 2H. That's another thing, is Sonic Fox is, he knows how to implement a lot of things into your mind at once. It's like feints. Feints in the neutral. He tried to reverse, he tried to switch sides, put him back in the corner. Lord Knight trying to do some spiral work. Trying to play keep away. It's like a difference between keep away and that keep away where you know exactly where they're gonna be at. Yeah, that's where Morgan was really strong in MVC3. Morgan didn't need to know where you'd be at because she could make you be somewhere. But when Chris G played Morgan in Marvel 3, he used both of those ideas. It's hard to get around it, and she can force you to be places. But Chris G also knew what you wanted to, like, how you would behave with certain stimulus. And I felt like just now what Lord Knight was doing was just throwing stuff out there. Not a bad thing to do. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do that. But the intention behind it is what makes it strong. And that, I think, is the difference between Fox right now and a lot of players. He has a lot of intention behind what he's doing. He has more information about what he's doing. Do you think Sonic Fox's playstyle with using all three characters equally versus saving meter for his anchor? I didn't know that was like a considered to be a playstyle, to save meter for your anchor. I think this game has so many different, diverse opportunities that you have to be within the moment and make optimal decisions. And it's going to be difficult to iron out if something, if you can even iron out, this is a right or wrong answer. It's going to be hard to determine that. I mean, this is clear, right? That's a right answer. It's going to kill him. Level 3. The level 1 win and killed him. Kill him with the level 3. But there's different situations where it's not so clear. This is a video I've been meaning to make about generic strategies in this game that will help everybody. And they're common among like people playing this game like this. But they're not so obvious. Like when I'm playing people online, I'm like, why do you still have that character in? Why did you spend all that meter when I'm going to tag them out and recover all this health back? Why are you managing to super dash every time I knock you down? Even though why are you hitting buttons every time I vanish and you block it? There's a lot of things that can save people a lot of trouble. Is charging meters useful? I don't think so. I had a setup with Frieza where I can charge meter, but I'm not even that enthusiastic about it. I missed out on why Lord Knight won this match. I kind of want to look back at that. But let me show you something about Frieza at least. I was using this early on a little bit, but I don't know. I think it's better to just pressure them. So when you charge just by itself, you get 2 bars. You get, well, half a bar, you can say. If you hold it, you get more, and it gets faster the more you charge it, right? But I don't think you're ever going to be able to get to that point. So with Frieza, the disc, you can actually charge under it. But, I mean, it's like, whatever. Like, whatever. I would prefer to I'd probably get more meter from dashing up and pressuring them than I would from doing this. So, it's hard to find ways where you can use it. It's hard to find ways that will justify it. But what do you think about Sonic's neutral? That's what we're going over. Oh, I want to see in this match how Lord Knight won. Because, I mean, he has been winning, so something changed. Oh, he deflected the sort of dive kick from Goku Black. But the thing about this dive kick, I don't think it has advantage if you block it. I could be wrong. Oh, okay. This is perfect. This is a good example. He deflects it. It might not have advantage. I don't know. I know Goku Blue, his dive kick doesn't have advantage. It's not punishable, but it's negative. But if you call an assist behind it, it's going to increase the block stun, and then you'll have advantage. But Lord Knight deflects, and now his assist is probably not even going to reach. Let's see what happens, actually. Yeah, he's too far away. The assist doesn't do anything. So as a result, from deflecting the dive kick, Sonic Fox loses that assist for however long it's going to take for it to recover. But he's still going to have the Android 18, Android 16 assists pretty soon. Ooh, that was a good clip. That was a good clip. So he's diffused the pressure from the dive kick and hit. That's good. That's a good identification of taking away one of his tools if that was the intention there, or he could have just deflected it. You know? Okay, that was a H. He just dashed up an H. So right now, Lord Knight has a little bit of advantage because he's still recovering from this. There's the air dash. Wow, that was really fast. That was an anime. That was so sharp. The reaction time on that. It's like, oh, he was something. Air dash. Do I think assist cooldown should be increased? Not yet. Not yet. Maybe not. But yeah, so him diffusing that reflect at the beginning of this is what set the tone of him winning this match, I think. Yeah, he lost Goku Black off of that. This is a really big deal. Like, it might seem like reflect is pretty weak, but this sets up this whole situation. Part of it is unfamiliarity because you go into the situation, now you're not comfortable. You're expecting this to hit them and be in block stun, but now you have to improvise. That's what I like about this game a lot. There's a lot of improvisation that you don't see in a lot of other games. It's like so many scripted things you got to do in a lot of fighting games, a lot of modern fighting games. I guess I'm just talking about Street Fighter V, right? Let's be real. In this situation, he's not comfortable with it. So now he has to dash up. He hits H, and he sees that, and then boom, instant air dash. And it hits him. I don't think that punishes, but it hits him. And that's what gave him the corner position. That's the first time he hit him, and he won off of this. This corner position is so important. And what happens in the corner? Let's slow it down a little bit. Wow, he just hits him on the drop down. So I think one more combo is gonna kill him after this. So let's see how he sets up the next situation. Junana go. Alright, there's the ground knockdown. He calls Junana go. Same thing. What's he doing? Sonic Fox, what are you doing? He got hit high. He wasn't blocking low. Maybe he tried to reflect. And he didn't counter hit, so I don't think he tried to 2H. 2H would probably be too slow. Maybe he tried to mash. Maybe he tried to get away with mashing. That definitely sets the tone. Online is pretty terrible. Yep. Online is trash for this game. I'm starting to reach my limits. I'm gonna play later today, but he's probably trying to chicken block. Oh, like jump away, jump back. That kind of makes sense. I don't think chicken blocking is very strong in this game, but it's there. It is an option. If he tried to reflect, he'd still block because he'd be all the way back. Yep. Yeah, I think with that being said, chicken block is more. Whoa! Lu2332. Welcome to the lab. Thank you. Thanks for the subscription. That's crazy. Let me know if you need some coffee. Need me to brew you up a cup. Cheers to you, man. Thanks a lot. Welcome to the lab. I missed out a bit. How did he lose hit? Hold on, let's go back. Oh boy. I need to figure out why he lost hit. Now I wonder if some teams can fall apart once they lose one character. Okay. That was the reflect. And now we got hit. Oh, another thing I would suggest for people that are picking up this game is something that I wouldn't normally suggest for fighting games. But it's have something to do when the match starts. Know what you want to do here. With Frieza, I hit H and call the cell assist. I do that almost every time. Now, the reason why I don't usually suggest doing this is because my default is to block and pay attention. But I don't think it's a bad idea to set the pace. Or at least find something that could set the pace, and then find out what works and what doesn't. Hold on, before I go into this and figuring this out, I'll show you exactly what I mean. With Frieza, I play Frieza on point. The first thing that I do when the match starts, I hit H, and I call Cell, and then I throw a disc. I do that almost every time, unless my opponent has an answer for it. Now what this does, the whole point is that I get the discs out. So this helps me set the pace at the beginning of the match. So at least have a plan. I don't always do this. Sometimes I'll do this, and I'll throw in Beers on the ground. So if they try to air dash at me, I'll hit them with the laser, and then Beers will hit them on the ground. So what this has resulted in is now I use these strategies in the neutral and other places. So now I might start the round and then backdash and see what they do, and then call Cell with the H, and then put the disc. So now it's giving me different ideas of different positions. So I think it's a good thing to be mindful of when you're starting this game off. Is have something to do when something first happens, when the game first happens. I gotta give you some Jibbo thumbs up for that sub, man. Thanks. Do you see a theory crafting scenario where you can find out the most efficient use of 1 bar of meter per character per team? Yeah, for sure. There's simple examples of that. I know that Cell's super does more than Beerus' super. So if I'm tagging out and they both have equal health, and I think they're both fine, like if those stats are all equal, and I just want to do more damage, then I'm gonna go to Cell. Or if I think it's gonna kill them, I'm gonna go to Cell because it does more damage. So that's one way that the meter would be more efficient. There's plenty of things to look into. Per character per team. Yeah, that's a good idea. Like I don't want to spend all my meter with one character because I know it's more valuable with another character. There is one thing. I think Beerus is not a good point character. I think Beerus needs at least 1 bar to be okay in the neutral. So I don't like playing him on point. So for that reason, I might want to tag him in if I have 1 meter available because he needs it. But in that case, that might present the argument that Beerus is not a good, he's not a strong character, right? But we'll see. I'll stick with him for a couple more weeks, maybe a few weeks. I kind of want to switch him out for Goku Blue. I'm really interested in Goku Blue for some reason. Why did he get hit? Pay attention. Pay attention, me. Alright. So what happens in a neutral? They both have like a respectful play. They do nothing, if I remember correctly. Nothing. Oh, actually, Sonic Fox air dashes forward. And then he super jumps up forward. Oh, no. Maybe he thought he would be further away. That's a big deal. Oh, this is where he tried to cross sides. That would have been a big deal if Sonic Fox maintained the corner position. But he did not. Okay. 17, that's what that is. 17 assists. Oh, Sonic Fox tries to parry something. Looks like, oh, Sonic Fox looks like he's experimenting a little bit in the neutral. He's definitely not, he hasn't ironed this, he hasn't, you know, fleshed out this situation yet. He's kind of trying stuff. But that resulted in him in the corner. Oh, no, I gotta see this one more time. See, that's what I think that's very apparent with that parry there. He timed it wrong. But then he might have just reacted to the projectile. Reflect. He tried to parry the assist. Can you do that? If you parry the assist, do you hit the main character? I don't know. Which buttons did I map? Since we don't have L3 or R3 buttons on hitbox. The side buttons. The buttons on the very far right. I don't even know which ones they are. What's that? L2 and R2 something? The outside 2, not the inside 3. That's really strong. That hit has a move that just brings him to the opponent and then he can call the assist. But if he doesn't have the assist, I wonder if he really has good options. Why did he get hit again? Okay, so that wasn't really that interesting. Oh, he did the low attack. Okay. So if I remember correctly, Hit has an overhit. I don't think he does. I don't think he has an overhead. I think his down L is a low attack. It's not an overhead. I mean, he has an overhead with 6M? I think this is a low attack. I'm pretty sure. But it's really slow. And that's how this got interrupted. Yeah, with a low... That was a crouch L. Hit has an overhead. He can always end his block string with 2 and 4 S, which makes him safe. Oh, that's where he teleports, right? Overhead and low, but they're both really slow. Low command number. What's his overhead? 2L is an overhead? I thought that was a low attack. Okay. Okay, that makes sense then. That makes sense. It's just a slow ass duff. What up, 56K? that's like the scientific description. You'll find it in the dictionary. 2L is that slow ass duff to the dome. I thought that was a low, but that makes sense. So that means that initiating, like that's what it was. The overhead, I don't think you can combo off of that. I think it's just a raw hit. So he has to do that slow low attack. I wonder if you can block that on reaction. Hold on. I gotta do some hit research. Yeah. Actually, I'll just play this out. That move that punches down is his overhead. Yeah, that's what I thought. Press 6H. I'll look into it. I want to see if any of those are so slow that they're reactable. And if they're that slow, then they are probably something you can mesh out of. And that could explain what happened there. I still didn't find out how Hit died. It's gonna take me 20 minutes to figure out how Hit died. I'm gonna write a children's book off of it. Okay. So this is where Sonic Fox has the experimentation. I'm gonna try to parry things. I'm gonna reflect things. No good. And then what does he get hit by? Disc. He's in the corner off of that. Nothing. Instant air dash. Nothing. Oh, this is where he gets interrupted by that low attack. Now we have the corner position. That spiking 2H in the air puts him on the ground, looking like a fool. And then it's the same thing. That time he got hit crouching. There's the Junanago assist. I don't know. I think he's still trying to reflect something. If I had to guess, he might be trying to parry it too. I wonder if I can find a frame that can prove that. Okay, let's see what happens in super slow motion. Okay, he does either in place or back recover. I think they're the same thing. He gets hit crouching. I don't know. I don't see anything other than him getting hit crouching. Yeah, maybe he thought he had to block low from a low attack. I don't know. Yep. Oh, he got reset and then got hit again. In the air. That time he was crouch blocking. I think he's just holding down back like a respectable human being. And that's what killed him. So it was not really a scramble. He got interrupted, put in the corner, and then he blocked low, and that's what hit him. Okay, so let's take a look at some of these cell moments. Cell hit. So I think that's his overhead, right? That is an overhead, but this doesn't do anything. I don't think you can combo off of this. I don't think anything is done. Okay, so what I want to do is test if these are reactable. If they're reactable, that means they're around 20 or so frames, like 17-ish, something like that. At least for me, I know I can react to something at the very best, like 16-ish in Street Fighter V. It's around there, so I can give me an idea of where the startup is, an approximate. But let's try. This is gonna be really hard to do. Oh, I have to do both the inputs basically at the same time. So I'm gonna be blocking low and then stand up when I see this, if it's reactable. I think that's big time reactable. On the first try, that's absolutely reactable. His overhead. It's reactable and doesn't do anything. I think that move, I mean, on the surface right now, it looks like it sucks, unless it kills him. Like, I'm not even trying. And this is easy to react to. And I have delay 2 frames on. This is like emulating online settings. So let's try that low attack. What's that, 2M? So when you're doing a test like this, you want to let it record for a while. You want to let it rock for a little bit and then do it, so that you don't condition your brain to know when it's coming. So off of this, I guess I just want to block neutral, right? Yeah, I think that's reactable too. Both of these are reactable. That's very strange. And somebody mentioned what is something else. Was it 6M? My oh my, how did hit die? What was I talking about? Try 6H. 6H is this attack? What? What are you talking about? 2 was 20 frames, 6M is 27. Wow. So yeah, I think that's a good. My own reaction speed is a good indication of when, like an approximate of what their startup is. If people can react to my Creed server online, they can totally react to its overhead. But that's the thing about this game. I think that Dragon Rushes, Super Dashes, and overheads are around that same category of about 20 plus or minus a couple frames. They're all reactable, but are you ready for them? That's what I think this game emphasizes. And in that way, I think it's fair. Maybe not online. But can you see that in an assist flash though? I'm kind of glad you brought that up. A lot of things in this game, your character takes priority. They'll be in front of it. So if I'm calling the assist or something, right? I think I should be in front of them. Let's have them block. There's so much thing, so many things to talk about this game. All the assists. The assist. I'm in front of Frieza, right? No. I guess a better example would be Cell. I'm in front of Cell's beam, so you can visually see. You can see that my character. You're capable of seeing it. It might obstruct your view a little bit, but you're not behind it. But the spheres for Beerus, you're behind them. But I don't think that's still enough. You can still see him a little bit. So I think there's something maybe to that idea that you can't see Beerus behind them. But I mean, they gotta exist. If they're not on the screen anyways, then what good are they doing you? But yeah, I think it obstructs your vision a little bit, but you're able to see it at least. He never does his lows without assist cover. Notable exception is Hellzone grenades. Really? You can't see? That's messed up. That's messed up. You can't really see the low too much. I wonder if there's specific assists that you can't see. I mean, we can find out right here with Android 16. And he does it here. This is before that, right? I got like a whole timeline down. Let's slow it down a little bit. Right here. Can you see him? So he's behind. I think, I don't know. It felt like there was a few frames where you couldn't. Where the explosion is at. He's still in front of it. There's sparks in the way. Oh, he reflected. I didn't even notice that at first. He reflected the assist. And then oh, wow. How did, what hit with AutoMattock? So he reflected and then mashed. I didn't even see the reflect from all this chaos. But the explosion is absolutely behind everybody. The explosion is behind the Android 18 and hit. So yeah, he's in front of the explosion. You're capable of seeing it. But there's a lot of things. It's definitely a different visual. Definitely a different visual. That's crazy. I didn't see the reflect. Can you see it from here? If it's this fast? You could see it. I just wasn't even looking for it. That's crazy. Oh, we should look at that too. When did he reflect? Oh! Oh, darn it. I think I found the right place. So that just made me think of something. So the low attacks are what are the more dangerous things against reflect. Because you have to stand up to reflect. So if you do something like 5M and then 2M, and you're trying to reflect in between it, if there's no gap, it's going to hit you because you're standing up. Hit's low attacks are really slow. So is there always a gap between hits attacks? Is there always a gap between something like 5M and 2M? Is there always a gap? Hold on. Does that mean hit might be pretty weak to reflex? Oh, there's gotta be a gap between that. His low attack. He's got. Oh yeah. You're right. I still think this is a low. His down L. So that means there's always gonna be a gap between this, right? If he does it off of attack, which is gonna be like auto combo or the 5M. Right? I gotta just do it. So here's auto combo and down L. 100. You can probably mash between that. Easily, right? You can mash. I'll do a crouching light attack. Yup. And then standing him, crouching him. His low attack. I can still mash through that. That means I can absolutely reflect it. So that's one thing. I'm gonna write that down. I gotta write that down. Reflect against hit and slow low attack in capital letters. I'll put it in capital letters like Drecker puts it. He def gives no fuck about reflect because his range will always bring him back to you. Let's find that out. Because what does he do off of that 2M? It's gotta be H, right? H or maybe a special move. H is probably gonna be faster. So we'll program that. We'll give it a shot. I'll go down the rabbit hole a little bit. So this, and then this. It is kind of slow. I was stuck in reflection. Okay, I have to use a faster attack. Let me try Frieza's 5M. Whoa, I have to use a line attack. So he doesn't give a fuck, but a little bit. He kind of gives a fuck. Write that down. 236L. He can start off 5M as well and just go into 5. Yeah. But what I'm trying to establish is that reflect is very strong. He can't gel you into a low attack. I think that's important. Punish, reflect, 2M. Now he might have an answer to this as well, and I'll look at that too. Reflect 2M with L. I'll just say with L. Because what I think the answer for a hit, I think there's an easy answer for this. If you can buffer this, you can. Okay. Yeah, there's an answer to this. So now the next step, what you might be able to do is if you cancel this into this, right? You can't cancel this? Okay, cancel it. And then you wait for the reflect, and then you punish it with this, or whatever move you use. So you do something like this, you wait, and then boom. I don't know the timing for it, but I think theoretically that could work. No, it wouldn't, because you're in reflect. They can't punish you if you already reflect something. So what you would have to do then is... Oh, okay, I got it backwards. You want to do this and then wait. Right? Because then your opponent is anticipating reflecting a low. Yeah, that makes more sense. Like that. Punished! Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But this is also something you can match between, right? So that makes him have to adjust his offense now. If we start going down that rabbit hole. Whoa, Kai, baby! 4.99 sub? Hold on. I just saw it in the chat, but on that screen I actually have it off. hold on, I got you. Kai, baby, with a fresh 4.99 sub? Welcome to the lab. It hasn't happened yet, but I have to activate it because I had it on the wrong screen. Hey, Kai, baby. Thanks for the sub. I appreciate it. Don't forget, hit has a command grab. Oh, yeah. Oh, that would be a good test. I need this test, actually. So, what is it? I think the EX version is what you use, right? This, and then maybe this? Because that'll track you. And maybe it's faster. Let's try it. Oh, it doesn't. Is it just always in the middle? Oh, it starts in the middle and spreads out. I thought one of them tracked you. No, they don't. So it's either close to you, far away, or in the middle. Okay, okay. So then I would want to use the close one, which would be slower. So let's see. I would do 5M, just generic example, 5M into the command grab, right? That's so slow. But I think that's going to work against the assist, or not the assist, the flex. Yep. Let me try it again. I think I did it a little bit late. Pretty sick. That's something I want to experiment with too, is calling assist and then reflect. I'm not sure if that's going to do anything. Because that means you're not using the reflect immediately. I don't think it's gonna work against this. But that does work. But I'm sure I can get in between this, right? Yep. Kind of the same effect, except if I'm continuing to block. If I'm not reflecting, this can catch me if I'm blocking. It's interesting. Yeah, but this game is all auto combos. It's all auto combos and super dashing. There's no interesting interactions. Who said that? Are you going to try to OS this later? I'm just trying to understand what's there first and then really dissect it. But I don't want to get that deep into it. I forgot what I was even looking for or what even generated this. Oh, yeah, it's because he reflected. Because he was behind an animation and it reflected. I think this is the same match, right? Alright, same match again. I feel like there's so much to talk about with this game. How did Hit die? There's the failed corner thing. This is where he tries to reflect things. And there's the parry, right? Parry. Tries to parry, too late. Parry the assist. I'm going to write that down. Can you parry assist? I'm curious about that as well. Can hit, parry, assist. Because I think what might happen is you'll parry the assist and then hit the character, but they'll be able to block it. I don't know. What characters or shell do you think have the strongest neutral zoning at the moment? Man, that's so hard. There are so many characters and so many undiscovered, like, what people are capable of. I heard that Allion thinks that Majin Buu has like, the strongest set play in the game. I barely even see Majin Buu. I don't know what he does. There's so many different things. But strongest neutral? I like Frieza a lot for neutral. I think Frieza is very strong in the neutral. Yeah, I think Frieza is very strong. But that's because I play Frieza, and that's probably my best character, is Frieza. I don't know, who else? Ginyu, he might have to get... Ginyu is like starting up an old car. It takes him a while to get started, but I think he has good neutral. Trunks, neutral's fine. Goldtank's neutral is like the beam. That beam in itself is great. Krillin neutral, that's like polarizing opinions, right? Kid Buu. Kid Buu's neutral might not be as good as it comes off. I don't know, who has like really strong neutral? I'm partial to Frieza. I think Frieza's neutral is one of the best. Goku Black's neutral seems okay. Is that really it? I think everybody has a functional neutral. But who has the strongest? Don't know. Let me know. You tell me. I have trouble against Frieza. The rock throws, covers. Yeah, it does. It's tough. Android 21 neutral is probably the best. I don't know how to agree or disagree. Most Android 21s that I play are try to rush down. But then again, it's hard to dissect when I don't have the character. I can't even get the character in training mode. So lockdown plus lockdown assist, so we're Vegeta. Vegeta? I love Frieza, but I don't think he has two other characters that work well enough with him for an optimal team yet. I don't think he has other characters. Yeah, I'm still figuring out. I mean, with what I've been doing, it's totally fine. This was a team I threw together, not even like trying to construct a team. It was just characters that were available in the beta that I wanted to play. I wanted to play Hit, but Hit wasn't in the beta, so I ended up playing Frieza accidentally. I picked Frieza and I hit H, and I was like, that's a normal move. And he has all these projectiles. Let's put him on point. Let's see what happens. Okay. How does Hit die? There's the reflect. There's the hit. There's the low slow attack that you can react to. Even in two frames of delay. And that's how Hit dies. From blocking low. Twice. Oh, here's a small mistake that a newer player might make here. Instead of converting into this super, they might try to use a level 3, you know? They might use a level 3. Now, that's not optimal because you're going to spend 2 bars. No, actually, spend 1 more bar than necessary. This requires a cancel, right? You're spending 1 more bar than what's necessary, and you're also leaving in a character with recoverable health. So now this way, he puts in... oh, that's how you could do it! But this wouldn't be the right way to do it. Okay, I'm interrupting my own thought. But if he were to put Trunks in instead, it would position Android 18 on the bottom of his team. So if Trunks died, then the next character would come in rather than the character that's recovering health. Ew. But yeah, shuffling your team around is an important skill to have in this game. Dash up Dragon Rush. Wow. I'm getting pretty hungry. Have you still not figured out? There's a lot to figure. Are we sure we figured it out? Look, before we get into that, I'm not going to figure out how 16 dies if we're still on the other part. We figured out a lot about how Hit died. I learned a lot. I hope you learned something. I'm AutoMattock. Boy, solo Android 16. He has his sparking activated. Even if he kills Android 18, he has a long way to go because Lord Knight still has his sparking and 7 bars. Level 3 is going to seal the deal. He might have been able to do it with a level 1, possibly. But this is going to get the job. He needs assurance. He needs to know that that character is going to die. So spending the extra 2 bars there is not a bad decision. Yep. So a lot of Kid Buu players like to open up with the 2M just because it reaches and it puts them close to you and then you call the assist, etc., etc. But the super dash at the beginning of the round will beat that. I don't think this is invulnerable to lows. I don't think it's immediately airborne either. But I do think that in combination of the startup of this and then when it actually goes into the air, that's why it avoids that. What? What a wild decision. But, I mean, he is so far behind that wild decisions can pay off, I guess. There's like arguments both ways, right? You're very far behind. You should play very solid and pay attention. You're very far behind. You should make risky plays. Where in the world did that hit go? I like the how did hit get hit? Oh, I gotta look into that move for Android 16. It's like a dive kick. I'm sure you can 2H it, but I need to see what kind of angles it hits at. We'll get tossed. You're never behind with 16. Incoming suicide bomb. I gotta look at that too. I got hit by it the other day. I was so pissed. So I need to look at Android 16, suicide bombu, and the dive kick. Dive knees. So I'm gonna watch this match and try to wrap up with what notes I have and go over them. I should have took more notes, but I have a lot.